So this is a short video to help us understand how we can get students to access the material on the teacher website. So you're a teacher in a school and your school has a subscription to the Applications and Interpretations or the old Math Studies website. That means that all the teachers in your school have their own logon details, and when you're logged in, your page is going to look like this. So I can see myself logged in there on the top left. So as a teacher, I can browse the site, I can get the resources, I can get the ideas, and I can take them and I can turn them into my lessons. I can project this onto my screen. But not a lot of people know that it's really very easy to set this up so that your students can see selected pages as well. So that's what we're going to do here. So if I go onto my login detail there and I choose this link here that says Student Access and click, I come to this page where I get all the information I need about student access. And so let's just go straight to it, go to the group. So I'm going to set up a class here and say, well, let's say this is my class I've got at the moment, the class of 2021 I've called it. But to set up a new class is dead easy. You go up here where it says new group, click that button there, you write the name of your group, which is entirely up to you. Call it what you like as long as it helps you differentiate. You can add a description if you want. You click next, and this is quite a key moment here, but there's an easy way through. One of the things we recognize is that a teacher might not want students to be able to see all the pages on the website. So on this page, you get to decide which of the pages you would like your students to be able to see. Now, you can spend some time on this, or you can click quickly this button that says Select All, and that will give your students access to all the pages that I have designated as student pages, because there are some obvious ones that I've kept aside that I'm pretty certain only teachers will want to see. So that's a quick way through, then they've got everything. But you can then go through and you can tick or untick pages as you see fit. You also might want to check this box that says automatically include new pages available for students. That means if I create a new page and I designate it as student access, then that will automatically go on their list. I see this as the most trouble-free route through this situation. As you get used to it, you might want to go in there and add a little bit of your own influence, but certainly select all and tick that box and you're away. Click next, and here we get to this stage where we can get the students to sign up. So if you send this link to students or project it so that they can see it, they follow their way to the URL, and then they will be directed to the student.thinkib.net website, which will look a little bit like this when they get there. Now, if students have already done this with another subject in your school, then they'll be prompted to log in, and they can use exactly the same login details as they have done for their other subjects. The URL you have given them is specific to this Maths, Apps and Interpretations site, and so they will be directed to that group. They'll be prompted to log in. Like I said, if they've got a login already to student.thinkib.net, then they can use the same one. If they haven't, well, then it's dead easy to create one. All they have to do is create themselves a login. Obviously, they'll need to remember their password details so that they can get back in at a later date, and then they will automatically be added to your class. So when students have done that, okay, you've given that to students, they're doing that, you click finish, and then the class appears in your list of classes. Okay, let's say a student didn't manage, or you get a new student, you can click on this button here to invite students, and you'll just generate that link again, and then that's easily fixed. And if you want to see what it looks like as a student, then you can click on the button that says Browse as Student. And then you're getting this version. It's a subversion of the same teacher site that you know and have been using, but with a selected number of pages. And now, if you go to any of those pages, you can see the ones that have been linked for students. So if you were doing a bit of work on indices and logs, for example, you can go there. They can browse as they see fit. But more importantly, if on a given day you want to send them into a particular place, then you can copy the URL for that page and you can share it with them using whichever virtual learning environment you use in your school, whichever means you have of link sharing with students, and they will go straight to that page on the student version of your teacher site. So the system is set up so that we can make sure that our students have access to the bits of this resource that we want them to have. We've got full control over that. We can have as many classes as we need, and we can set up all those classes differently. And this is the first step, setting up student access. At its most basic level, it just provides a means for students to get to the pages themselves. And I think in an increasing number of cases, the way we're designing the pages, we're thinking about the student access, the kind of tasks where it might just be useful for students to for teachers to send their students to the page and get them started in a lesson, so the teacher is free to move around and help students individually. So there we go. That is the basics of setting up student access.